Oh, interesting conversation indeed. We will be diving into more of that in just a bit, but it's time to dive into something a little bit more special. Now, you know what goes really well with Easter? Yes, because that's around the corner. I'm talking about avocados. Yes, that's right. Avos are the ideal accompaniment to Easter spreads, right? And a lot of other cool things, but we are going to show you something special right now. Not because of their Easter egg shape, but because they're the perfect partner for South Africans who, I mean, honestly, who doesn't love this? Everyone in South Africa pretty much loves pickled fish, right? Unless you're allergic, of course. Now, we're going to show you something exceptional in the kitchen. Nondumiso is joining us, and she's going to be making fish cakes and an avocado banh mi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'll find out to make sure. And this dish is going to definitely stand out on your Easter table. So get involved. But firstly, Nondumiso, how are you doing this morning?
I am well.
Hey, almost time for Easter. Did you have a good weekend?
I did. I had a wonderful weekend. Very restful.
Nice. And preparing for the chaos that is about to come.
That is about all the festivities.
The festivities and the memory making. And this is something that, for me, is like an old memory mixed with like a sort of new memory. And I say old because this actually reminds me of like a Gatsby. I didn't want to say it, but it kind of is like that. All the good stuff on a roll. I mean, come on.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Exactly, right? That's exactly. I thought of a sub, but I mean, we didn't grow up with sub, but a Gatsby, that's really actually hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah, it's a very bougie Gatsby, but let's get straight into it. How are we doing this one?
I am now pouring in my some sesame oil, some white wine vinegar into the carrots and with some water, mixing that, and we're going to set this aside. And in the meantime, can you please help me by cutting open the bread that we're using? You can use the bread of your choice. Banh mi is a type of Vietnamese bread, and yeah, so it is a Vietnamese sup essentially. Well, that's how I like to think of it.
We're getting some international inspiration into this one as well.
Yes,
that's cool. I like that. All right, so rolls cut open. What have you been doing there, by the way? I saw you were throwing in those ingredients. You mentioned sesame seed oil and white rice vinegar.
Yes, white wine vinegar.
What are you doing exactly, by the way?
It's just a pickled carrot, which we're also going to then add to our banh mi.
That's smart, and you don't have to leave it like overnight.
Not overnight, just a couple, just a few, fresh.
I like that. Nice. Okay. So once we're done on that side, what's happening over here?
Then you can spread some of our mayo in there, and in the meantime, of course, you would have baked your fish cakes according to whatever instructions that that your fish cakes come with. And it's a really, the nice thing about it is that this is simple, it's easy to put together, and it involves the avos, which we love.
Oh yes, we absolutely
I mean, who doesn't love an avo? If you don't love avos, honestly, something's
and it's not just
right.
like the creamy taste about it. I mean, avo is really going all the way at the moment. I mean, there are so many benefits when you're talking about avos. I mean, it's associated with things like, well, firstly, it's got a high mono unsaturated fatty acid level, right? So what this means is that it also has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Now, this will help decrease chronic inflammation as well as oxidative stress. Now, avos are also naturally free from sodium, so this contributes to increased fruit and vegetable intake, so you can tick that box, oh yes. And they're a great source of potassium. I mean, listen to this, I didn't know this. Apart from bananas that have a great source of potassium, avos provide 420 milligrams of potassium. Yeah, and that's in half an avo. So that is actually incredible. I had no idea about the fact that the potassium was so high, but I'm here for it because constantly avos are just blowing my mind in terms of why we should incorporate it into our meals.
Absolutely.
Good, healthy fats,
Delicious as well.
How are we doing on this side?
Yes, and you add our fish cake.
Are we just going to put it straight on?
You can just put it on there.
Nice.
That's exactly how we like it. Then we can add some of our chili sauce there.
Okay, some chili sauce.
Yeah, but also when you talk about avo, you know what I was thinking of? I don't know if you used to do this as kids. Like you literally just take the avo, scoop it out, and add a bit of salt, and you smear it on white bread. That's soft white bread with an avo.
You can't go wrong with that.
You can never. That reminds me of home as well.
Like salt and pepper on like bread with an avo, for me, is just like such a good one, such a classic. It tastes so good, and I can see why Mzansi is so caught up and addicted to this avo sensation.
Yeah, then
right,
you can
pickled
add our
carrot comes through next. Let me just grab some of that. This is looking bright.
It's looking
vibrant
beautiful.
too. I absolutely love that. And while we're getting that done, I'll leave you with the honors of taking the green gold and putting that fanning on, because I want to talk to Mzansi, because this is something I think everybody should get involved in. I mean, if you are definitely doing an Easter menu or you've pickled something together, then don't forget to add the avo, of course. It's like the cherry on the top for this Easter. So you can find this recipe at expresso.com. And if you are seeking more creative ways and inspiration to add an avo to your meals this Easter, Well, don't worry. You can visit avocado.co.za. And of course, you can also tune in this Wednesday and see how pickled fish can be reinvented and how adding an avo can make the perfect Easter pairing. That's what's up. Everything Easter inspired this week coming at you. And this job, I think, was well done.
A well done job. Got apple fingers.
Check it out, Mzansi, and enjoy. This one is a hunger buster.